What's up all, I am the GOC, the Grumpy Old Collector. Welcome into my second ever ratings video. This one is for the box of 2021 o-pee-chee we opened yesterday. Be sure to check that out, I live streamed it yesterday. The video should be on my channel under past live streams. Fairly easy to find along with some other nice content there. Give me a like or a subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. We're going to rate this. Now again, these ratings are just on the box that I opened, not the overall product, because again, I don't open near enough for the scale to apply to that. So the scale is just on the box that we opened alone, not the overall product of o-pee-chee. With that being said, I rate the product out of 50. There's five categories, each one out of 10. First one would be appearance, the overall looks and stuff for the cards. We'll get into it a bit as we get into each category. The second is quality. Did we get a bunch of damaged cards, so on and so forth. The third being value. If you wanted to turn around and sell all the hits that you got, could you get your money back on eBay, essentially? The fourth category being variety. Did we get a bunch of different inserts? Are they all the same? Do they look different? And last category is collectibility. A few years from now, are guys going to be chasing this set? Are they going to be chasing at least some inserts from this set, trying to finish them if there's enough? That kind of thing. All that being said, guys, let's get into this. The first category being the appearance of these cards. So here's a stack of some of the base that we got from that box. Just have a look there. This one I like. It's a team checklist, something I don't think enough sets do. So there's one for the Senators. So have a look at the card, not just the logo and whatnot. We pulled that out of the way, so here's the first base card we'll take a look at. So to me, immediately, I'm not really drawn to this card. I honestly find it kind of plain. The only color is on the logo of the player. It's jerseys and whatnot, his shoulders. I would have liked to have seen them incorporate maybe the team's colors into the borders, like say the green and stuff around the outsides. That would have made this nice. So I flip it over, maybe we'll find some color or something there to draw you to this, but negative. It's basically a black and white, so I think you definitely could add color back here, and you should have color, at least in the borders, drawing you to it, but no, it's a black and white, and we'll just make sure that all the base cards are like that, right? You can see there's one in there, it's not a base, that one's a variety. I was going to show it to you later, but since we've seen it on the back, and that one is at least a different color. It's a variation because it's a team checklist, but it's a different color. So kind of plain to me. Black and white on the back, gray on the front. Here's some inserts where it starts to look to me like they've started to try to add some color, at least to the bottom. But if this is a subset of inserts, they're still numbered the same as the regular base cards, I believe. If you can see that. And there's some color on the bottom. It almost looks like they're trying to do some team colors. As you can see, the Matt Roy, I don't know if you can see it on my camera very well, but he's silver on the top, and on the bottom his name's down there as well. Sorry guys. I'll learn camera angles one day. But as you can see, so it looks like they did incorporate some color there, but to me there was no need for a subset like this when you could have just put more color into the borders or the outside of your base cards. It's redundant almost, it's unnecessary. So overall, I think on these cards, when we look at the visuals and whatnot, I'm going to have to give this set a 4 for visuals. I mean, here's another one of the insert sets that they did that I thought was a unique idea. We'll talk a bit more about that in variety, but this one is nice to look at. It's colorful, it draws your attention to it. So, but again, this is just one insert set. It's not enough overall, indicative of overall. It's more lack of color, gray, plain, more blah. Let's bring us on to quality. So these were the stack of base cards that we got out of there. And again, I expect that out of a lower set, especially when it's got that many packs and that many cards per pack. It'll be different when we get into the boxes that has one pack and 6 cards in it, and that's it total. But what did impress me out of this, just like with the MVP, if you've seen that rating video, guys, that whole stack, no doubles. That is impressive. When I looked at the cards again overall, we didn't get any really dinged up corners. That wasn't a repetitive issue. There's no smudging or any of that kind of stuff on the back. But the edges are rough. They're not crisp or clean or anything like that. So that's kind of a lack. But here is the one thing I did find that was a drawback for them. So it's a similar insert to this one here. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this justice in my camera or not. But let's start with one that they did well, which is this Ryan Nugent Hopkins. So if you look down at the bottom at the base, it's nice. I don't know if you're going to see it on my camera, but it's even on both sides all around. Flows up the card, and they're the same size at the top and at the bottom. This one is Kevin Fiala. It's the same insert for the Minnesota Wild. If you look at the top and at the bottom, this card is terribly miscut. If you sent this in for grading, Beckett would give you like a 6, maybe even a 5.5. Again, I don't know if you can see this on my card, but on my camera, but it's quite miscut. You can maybe see the example better on the back of this card if I show you at the bottom. Look at the amount of gray on the one side that you can see compared to the other. There's a lot more on one side than the other. That's how you can know it's miscut. This is what you would see in cards from like the 80s. I don't know if anybody remembers. I can't remember exactly what year it was. 88, 89 maybe. The o-pee-chee set, speaking of o-pee-chee, with the tacks in the top corner. Man, that set was badly miscut. But it was almost every card, and it was ridiculous. And that was in the 80s when that was more acceptable. Here in 2020, it is not. But overall, we're gonna give this thing for quality an 8. No doubles in a stack that good. Only one really unacceptable quality issue on a card. And it was only on what I would call, like I say, a minor unnecessary insert set. So an 8 overall for quality. Moving on to value. So what you would averagely pay for this set should be between probably $85 to $100 for this box, not this set. So on that note, if you turned around and sold everything that you got, again, like I said, I gave away some inserts and stuff. I had 4 people buy into this box opening / group break. So factoring in the cards that they got as well, there was a few decent ones on there. It still came up a little bit short. If I turned everything around, even those 4 guys as inserts and cards and stuff, I'd still come up a little short of what I bought this. Excuse me. So that being said, and when we look at the Beckett, but I mean, we all know that Beckett overvalues cards. Even if I added everything up Beckett-wise, I'd probably come up close to almost being even. So we'd have to say it's a little undervalue, which would lead us to score this out of 4. Because that's fair. I'm just a little bit undervalued, not massive. But that being said, a 4 is fair in my opinion. Moving on to the variety. So there are a bunch of different inserts. Again, I've expressed my opinion on this first style here. It was unnecessary. It's added color that could have been done on your base cards. They've thrown in some league leaders. Here's a dry style one we got. So this card has some color to it. Some blue on the borders and whatnot. It's not just the player's jersey and whatnot that brings the color. There's a border. There's on the bottom. There's some bannering and whatnot. We flip it over. There's some blue on the back this time, as you can see, and then black and white in the centering. But at least that blue bordering around the outside is a little more eye-catching and definitely more appealing than that just black and white. But you can still see all that black and stuff in the middle. A slight variation on that is one of my very favorite players, Big Joe, and they're calling these ones a season highlight. See if you can see that. And again, it's a black border this time with the gold bottoming. Very similar, a slight variation. Marquee legends they do. We ended up getting a few here. Matt Sundin, Timo Solani, Henrik Zetterberg. I didn't keep them all out, obviously. I just wanted to have some to show you guys. So again, different coloring on the border, not just gray. But you flip these over and black and white. And very similar to the other cards. Another variation they did, at least here we go. Blue borders are on the outside. The cards are all numbered the same, so I don't know if they would consider these a variation or a blue, but few different players there. Vancouver, I'll just show you because they're not matching the team colors or anything. But again, this looks nicer than just that plain gray, doesn't it? So why does this have to be an insert or a variation? Why not just do this to your base card and have it be appealing? Andrei Svechnikov. And here's another slight variation. This did more gray on the bordering and on around the outside, but when you mix it in with that yellowing, it looks a little bit better. But again, very similar to the Marquee Legends that we just looked at. And some more play on that. Another variation, the Solani of the Marquee Red Legend. Marquee Rookie, Toronto Maple Leaf. But again, gray, very plain. They've added that yellow lettering it. As we look at the back again, at least these ones have some color. Okay, here's a couple. Some red, but again, almost reminds you of newsprint or a newspaper, doesn't it, when you look at it? I guess if they're supposed to be throwbacks, I kind of get it, but again, that one that we looked at, if we flip it around, black and white. Could have done more, in my opinion, that's all I'm saying. So there is variety there. Oh, and I did save my favorite ones for the end. I almost forgot them. So here's my 3 favorite inserts. I do like this one because it's numbered and it is a retro black. We got a Mikko Rantanen. And now see, that black border is appealing to me. Frames the card nicer, draws attention to it. They didn't do the team colors, but that looks nicer. Again, so just showing you that more effort could have been put into the base. Here's the back, guys. Serial numbered on the back. Don't know if you'll be able to see it with my camera. Probably not, but I'm going to do what I can. Anyways, it's serial numbered 78 of 100. These ones, they call them tall boys. We did get a few of these as well. There was a Malkin, a few good ones. I just grabbed one to show you. Same height as a regular hockey card, but thinner. It's a much thinner variation. So there's a subset of these, and this one's numbered Papa 23. Some coloring on the back, see, not just black and white, blue, and everything else, a little more attention getting. And surprisingly, my favorite subset that we pulled out of there were these playing cards. So we did get some good ones too. We got a Kirby Doc, we got a Connor McDavid. I grabbed this John Tavares one just for this review or this rating so you could see. So it looks like a playing card, nice and colorful, good picture of Tavares on the front there. And they did the playing card style on the back. So that's kind of cool too. That is a different, unique variation. I like seeing that kind of stuff. I don't want to see everybody pick up on it and start doing that and having a playing card set tossed in. That would be too much. Or I don't want to see jersey pieces or autoed playing cards. Like if the idea was this is to be a playing card and not just a subset, then let's keep it as that in this lower end set. I don't want to start finding those in the higher end product. But again, a unique idea, it's different. Like my only point was I just don't want to see it running over where everybody thinks it's a good idea. So all in, variety, I landed on a 6 for this o-pee-chee. Because again, there's a lot of inserts, but it has the same problem that the MVP of this year has, the 2021. They're all very similar. Yes, they're different, but they're similar. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Let's get into our last category for this one, collectability. Our collector's going to be talking about this in a couple of years from now. Well, in my opinion, no. We did crack this open, and there was some excitement at the end there. We pulled a redemption card, which I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't do too much homework into the set ahead of time. Sorry, that's on me. I was kind of hoping it was a player card, but it turns out this set has a subset of bounties where you run down the 8 or 9 pieces, and then I guess it would be for a number 1 draft pick. So that must turn into a Lafreniere. You guys can correct me in the comments. I was surprised to see it pulled out, but when you looked on eBay, not much interest in them, it looks like. So I'm assuming they're all either redeemed or done, but that's where you'll find the one that we landed, anywho. That being said, there was that. You might find guys, like I said, trying to run down this subset, the playing cards. So there'll be some interest there. And probably maybe some tall boys. There'll definitely be some set builders trying to make the tall boys as well. And there are a few subsets of these, different colored outside borders and whatnot. But overall, I landed on a 4 for collectability with this as well. Because like I said, there'll be some drive for these inserts again, but I just don't think collectors will be 2 years from now. Oh, has anybody still got those playing card inserts from the 2021 o-pee-chee? Or has anybody still got the retro black borders, those serial number ones? Like, I know these are out of 100, and Mikko Rantanen is a decent name. A young talent could still be a lot. He can still, he's got a high ceiling that he can grow into. And I don't think there'd be a demand of more than $3 to $5 for this on eBay, honestly. We'll see though, but that's where we have settled with that category. So when we add all that together, our final score for the box of 2021 o-pee-chee that we opened was, I can't afford a real drum, 26. So she comes up 1 point lower than the box of 2021 MVP. So it'll be second of the two boxes that we've opened. Again, we haven't opened what I would consider an outstanding one yet, so hopefully the next one is really good. Like I said, I have 3 boxes of 2021 Upper Deck, so with the Alexis Lafreniere, Young Guns, High Gloss, hopefully some of that shows up. Wouldn't that be nice? That would be awesome. But so stay tuned for that. After we break those, we'll do rating videos on those. I've got 3 boxes of 90-91 Upper Deck coming already. I've done a group break on one of those so far. All those spots are gone. Looking for the Fedorov, the Bure Young Gun, the Felix Potvin rookie. There's a few others in there that would be worth sending out for grading if we get some nice condition cards out of that. It's a throwback. I'm excited for that. But that's for another video. This concludes another rating video. o-pee-chee comes in second to the MVP so far, losing by 1 point. MVP was 27, o-pee-chee 26. Have a good one. Look for another video, another live stream coming soon. I'm the Grumpy Old Collector.